So today I have a really awesome story time. It is probably one of the best story times I've ever had. And so to start off, let me introduce you to my new friend, Smokey. This is my kitten, Smokey. He is almost 2 months, I think. I don't really know, but we'll get into that with the story time. And he is like the happiest little kitten. He just like goes limp when I hold him. And all he does is purr all day. I don't know, here, you hear this? But all he does when I hold him, when I'm in the same room as him, all he does is just purr. So, on with the story time video. So this takes place the day before this past Thanksgiving, and my mom and I had gone to the grocery store and we were picking up some things, and we were on our way home, and so it was kind of late, maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock. And so my mom is driving and I'm in the passenger seat and we're on our way home, and then all of a sudden I see a tiny little thing cross the street, like run across the street. So then I'm like, Mom, I'm so sure that I just saw a kitten out there. Can we make a U-turn and just try and get this thing? And she was like, you're crazy, but okay. So then she makes a U-turn, and then this cat, again, he crosses the road again. So then we have to make another U-turn. So we're basically where we started at that point. And then I was just so nervous that he was gonna cross the street again. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, like it was way too much adrenaline and way too much worry. And he was like so tiny, and I just had no idea how I was gonna get him. And we had a box in the car, just like a tiny little Amazon box, and I was like, okay, maybe I can just like toss this over him and he'll stay in the box, I guess. That was the best plan I could come up with on zero notice. So my mom pulls over and I get out of the car and I have this little box, and I look for the cat, and then I have to start running after him, because what else am I supposed to do? Like make a trap? I don't have anything to make a trap with. I have this box, but that's it. I have to get close to him to like throw it on him, you know? So I'm like chasing him and just hoping that he does not cross the street. Thankfully, we were the only car on this entire stretch of road for this entire time, which was like amazing because it's a very busy street. So I run after him, and I run and I run and I run, and I had my box and I could not get him. And he would get kind of tired after running for a little bit. So then he would curl himself up into a teeny tiny ball and just like hide against the brick wall, thinking that like I wouldn't see him or something. I don't know, that was not his best, like, I don't know, plan, but that's like the plan that he came up with. So I still saw him, so then I was able to get closer to him, and then I got close enough to throw the box over him, so I went like, hey-ah! And I just completely did not get him because he was way too fast. So then he started running the other direction, so then I had to start going the other direction. The entire time my mom is like freaking out because she doesn't know if this cat has like rabies or something. She doesn't know if this cat is gonna run into the street, and she's like yelling at me like, if this cat runs into the street, don't run after it. And I'm just like focused on this cat. I'm like not even really paying attention at this point because I'm just like, I am going to get this kitten. And I don't know where this came from, because I think not many people go and like chase down wild kittens, I guess. I don't know. So I was kind of thinking like, I'm not gonna get him. Like I was running like as fast as I could to try and get him, and he just was not letting me like get near him or anything. So then I'm just like, whatever at this point, like I am gonna get him. Like I don't know how, but I'm going to get him. Like I got like a second wind and I was like, I'm doing this. This kitten will be in my hands. So now I'm like really determined. So then I run as fast as I can and I catch up to him, and I see his little head. He looks back at me to see if I'm still chasing him. And in that specific moment, oh, there was a lamppost, and he slammed his tiny baby head into that lamppost so hard that it actually looked like a cartoon, and he like bounced his whole body off of the lamppost. And then I'm pretty sure that he was like probably a little like dizzy or something. So what he ended up doing was he hid behind the little lamppost in the tiny little space that there is between like the brick wall of the main road and then the lamppost. So then I'm like, well, I guess if I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get him now. And I don't know if this is just like adrenaline or me really wanting to rescue the cat or something, but I stick my arm out. I'm just like this at this point. I don't even look. I'm just like, ah! And then all of a sudden, while I have my arm like out there, you know, I'm not even looking, I feel his fangs and it really hurt. His teeth really hurt. He was so tiny, but his teeth still really hurt. And then I also felt that I grabbed him. I don't remember me grabbing him. I don't know how I did it. I just know that I looked and I had a kitten in my hand. So then the first thing I do is, because I don't have like a container, the box I had was not like big enough for me to put him in. It was just like a teeny tiny little Amazon box. So the first thing that I can think of is just to hold him to my chest like that and just like hold him, you know, like, because he's been cold and I just have no other way of like controlling him, I guess, because I think if I just held him like in both my hands, he would like squirm away. So that was the first thing I did. I just like held him like this, and then I went into the car and my mom was just like, I don't know how you did it. That was like insane, but you did it, okay, I guess that we have to deal with this now. And she did not think that I was actually gonna get that cat, and for a little bit I didn't think I was gonna either. But here he is today. So then we went to PetSmart because I'm like, I have nothing for a cat. I have no supplies for a cat. Also, this was such crazy timing to like catch a cat, I guess, because I have wanted a cat since I was like apparently 4 years old. I just remember my entire life I've always liked cats and stuff. Like, I know that sounds like such a cat lady thing, like an old cat lady thing, but I do not care because I think cats are just really cute. So I have wanted a cat since I was like 4 years old, and apparently my mom like took me to her coworker's house or something and they had kittens, and since that day forward I was like, I want a cat. And I was like never allowed to have cats because my parents were just like not cat people. They liked dogs way better, but I was like the only person who liked cats in my entire family. I just figured that once I like had my own house, I would just get my own cats that way and just like have a cat, you know, in addition to like Jack. So I just never really expected it like for these next few years, you know. I was just like figuring that like when I was older, like when I was in my mid-20s or something, I would get a cat because I had always wanted one. So then a week before this, maybe not even a week, like a few days before this, my mom finally cracked. She was like, you know what? Okay, you can have a cat. And I was just like, oh. So I was really excited. So I actually had called the shelter for a specific cat because they have some certain cats that they have online, and my type of thing is that I really like taking in the other animals that nobody else really wants. So I wanted like the adult one or the ugly one, or like, you know, I just wanted the one that had the least amount of chance to be adopted. And so I called in at the shelter for this specific one that its name was Jessie, I remember, and it was an adult cat and it was like black, and apparently black cats have less chances of being adopted and whatever. So I actually called in and I was like, hey, can you guys get back to me about this cat because I really want to adopt it. And it's open 7 days a week, so I don't know what happened, but they never got back to me. Not the day after, not the same day, not the week after. It's been like 2 months now and I still never heard from them back. But I think that it was like meant to be that this little kitten was mine. So let me go back to the story now. So we had just gotten him and we went to PetSmart because we were like, we need supplies, we need a litter box, we need like a cat carrier to just like make sure he gets home safe and doesn't like squirm away, and you know, like the basics, cat food, that type of stuff. We went inside PetSmart and immediately he was like a tiny celebrity because everyone was like, he's so tiny and cute and da da da. And so we were like, yeah, we just caught him, I guess. So they were like, okay. And then we got all the kitten supplies and stuff, and then we took him home in the cat carrier, and we just kind of separated him into a separate room because I heard that that's like better for them when they're adjusting and everything, and he has adjusted really well now, and now he is the most cuddly cat, and he just purrs all the time, and he loves it when I hold him. Even if he seems like he doesn't, he loves to be held all the time. He's so adorable, and he has such cute eyes. He has like the prettiest green eyes, and then he has like a little blue circle like right where his pupil is, I guess. Iris? Pupil? I don't know. So he's definitely come a long way, but also something that we didn't realize right away because we never owned a cat before is we had no idea how skinny he actually was, because when we got him, he already had all this fur, so he's just like, you know, a fluff monster basically. But since he was so fluffy, we had no idea that he was literally just like bones. Like he had no meat on him at all. He, I think now, might almost be at a proper weight, but he still probably has a little bit to go. So we're pretty sure if we had not gotten him that day that he would have just died. So I'm really glad that I was able to get him, and we have been feeding him and rehabilitating him, and now he's almost, I think, or maybe he is at a proper weight, but he's like a happy and healthy little kitten now, and he's for sure staying with us. And also, we named him like the instant that I brought him in the car, because he reminded me so much of this toy that I had when I was very little. And my mom too, she, like, we both instantly thought of the same thing, and we're like, oh, he looks a lot like your old toy Smokey. And Smokey, it, like, I know it sounds like a 4-year-old or like a 6-year-old named it. I think it was like one of those ages, you know, really tiny. So I actually still have that toy, and this is what it looks like, and it's really old and beat up now, but it looks a lot like him. And also this thing has like a marble in it or something, so the only thing that this cat does is purr, and that's kind of like Smokey. So as soon as I like brought him into the car, then we were like, his name is Smokey, and that is that. So he's like honestly almost the same size as my toy. So I had wanted a cat for so long, and now I have this one, and he's so small. And also, he's been like converting people who hated cats. Like everyone in my family, nobody liked cats. They were like, ugh, like everyone hated cats. And then I'm like, look at this one, he's so cute, and he like goes into your neck and then like cuddles your neck, and then he's just really cute. And so everybody now loves him. I just have to say that. So, you know, he's like been converting people. So now he's like my little friend, and Jack has been like having a rough time getting used to him, but we have been slowly introducing them to each other because I want them to get along really well. And when we went to PetSmart, the people who work for the adoption centers like inside of PetSmart, they said that he was probably like 3.5 or 4 weeks old at that point, so he was so tiny. So I have no idea how long he was without food or water or shelter or anything, because he was a literal skeleton. Like once I found out like how like skinny he was, it kind of blew my mind that he was alive at all. And he's honestly like kind of similar to the size that he was before, because he was such a skeleton. He's gotten like a little bit longer, and his tail has also gotten a little bit longer since we first got him. When I first got him, like the first few days, his tail was the size of my index finger, so it's like almost doubled. Oh, you're growing. So now, yeah, I thought that I would introduce you guys to my kitten friend, and he is so soft and cuddly. I love him so much. So that's basically the story of how I ended up with my tiny little kitten friend here. And I thought I would let you guys know because he is definitely appearing all over my social media now. And he's just so tiny. Like, who doesn't love kittens? He's so small. Ah! He's so wiggly too. So I just thought I would make this video to let you guys know, finally, after all this time, what the actual story was of how I ended up with the cat and how all of that happened and how he's doing now, and just you know, informing you guys, because that's like what I do on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also be sure to follow me on all my social media. That way you guys can see so many pictures of this tiny little kitten, because I post about him and my dog Jack all the time. And also, if you guys want to support me on Patreon, I would really appreciate it. You guys can support me with whatever amount you want. And if you guys are new here, you guys can subscribe by clicking right there, and you'll get notified of every new video that I upload. And also, if you guys want to check out my other videos, you can click right there or right there, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye. How do you do like a little waving? Bye. Bye.